Hello and welcome. Hope you guys
Hi.
evening.
I have a magic hand, y'all.
Uh-oh, Andrea's starting already. So we have Andrea with the magic hand. We have Anitra and we have Mo. And here I am, Miss August. So listen up, guys. Tonight is going to be a very different take. We're going to definitely dive into the have-nots and the haves. Each one of your reporters here will do a deep dive on their segment. But to start you off, we have to really talk about how it all got started. Monique, why don't you get started?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Gilded Age because I thought that was appropriate for what we were talking about tonight. And the Gilded Age was a period of American history starting from the 1870s, like right after the Civil War, right up until about 1900. And there was a lot of technological and industrial stuff that came to be and created a lot of wealth for certain people, but that time was also marked with great inequality in wealth. There, the haves and the have-nots. That's when labor unions came to be. Workers would go on strike because things were so unfair, and there was also marked by a lot of political corruption. So, when I was looking at this video, I was thinking this could be right now today, but this is stuff that happened like over 100 years ago.
Well, before I start the video, let's say hello to our supporters out there. Hey, Lizzie. Hi, Miss Connie. So glad to have you. We waiting for everyone else to jump in, but let's go ahead and start the film.
The Gilded Age, spanning between the Civil War and the turn of the 20th century, was a turbulent and transformative era in American history. It was a time of rapid industrialization, technological breakthroughs, and unprecedented economic growth. Cities expanded, factories roared to life, and railroads crisscrossed the nation. But beneath the glittering surface of prosperity lay stark inequalities, corruption, and significant social and political changes. The term Gilded Age was coined by Mark Twain and Charles Dudley Warner in their 1873 satirical novel, The Gilded Age, A Tale of Today. The word gilded refers to something covered with a thin layer of gold, giving it a shiny, attractive appearance, while concealing a less valuable or flawed core. Twain and Warner used the term to critique the era's superficial opulence and immense wealth, which they saw as masking rampant greed, political corruption, and numerous societal problems. In essence, they argued that the era glittered on the surface, but was deeply troubled underneath. Industrialization was the engine of the Gilded Age. The period saw the rise of key industries, such as steel and oil, each playing a vital role in shaping the modern economy and creating wealthy barons. The steel industry, led by Andrew Carnegie, revolutionized construction and infrastructure, enabling the creation of skyscrapers, bridges, and railroads. The oil industry, dominated by John D. Rockefeller's Standard Oil, became essential for powering machinery and lighting homes. Control of such industries allowed their owners to amass incredible wealth. However, their dominance often came at the expense of fair competition and the exploitation of workers. Technological innovations fueled the industrialization and growth of the Gilded Age. Transformative inventions like Thomas Edison's light bulb and Alexander Graham Bell's telephone revolutionized life, improving communication and productivity while extending working hours with reliable lighting. Advances in transportation, such as railroads, were responsible for connecting the United States together and facilitated trade, migration, and urbanization. Factories embraced mechanization and mass production, boosting efficiency and making goods more affordable. Agricultural innovations, such as mechanized farming tools and refrigeration, increased food supply and enabled national markets for perishable goods. These advancements reshaped industries and transformed society, creating opportunities while deepening the divide between the wealthy elite and the working class. The barons were the kings of the Gilded Age. The barons, who were often referred to as robber barons or captains of industry, were powerful industrialists and financiers. Barons such as Cornelius Vanderbilt, J.P. Morgan, John D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie not only amassed unprecedented wealth, but wielded immense influence over the American economy and politics. Their fortunes were often built through ruthless and aggressive business practices and the formation of monopolies. And when their workers tried to unionize or strike for higher wages and safer working conditions, often the barons crushed these movements with force. The barons' luxurious lifestyles and enormous mansions symbolized their wealth and the era's opulence. Vanderbilt Biltmore Estate in North Carolina was a great example of this. Completed in 1895, the 250-room French Renaissance castle boasted 35 bedrooms, 43 bathrooms, 65 fireplaces, grand ballrooms, priceless art, indoor swimming pool, a bowling alley, and technological marvels like electricity, a luxury at the time. The era wasn't golden for everyone. The gap between the rich and the poor widened dramatically during this period. While the upper class lived in unparalleled luxury, the majority of the population struggled with poverty and harsh living conditions. Millions of laborers, including young children, toiled in unsafe factories, mines, and sweatshops. Workers endured grueling hours, low wages, and hazardous working conditions. Meanwhile, the rapid growth of cities outpaced the availability of adequate housing, forcing countless families into overcrowded, dilapidated tenements. These buildings were often plagued by poor ventilation, limited access to clean water, and rampant disease, further compounding the daily struggles of urban working-class communities. During the Gilded Age, political corruption was rampant and a serious problem. Powerful political machines like New York City's Tammany Hall exemplified the era's systemic graft. These machines manipulated elections through bribery, voter fraud, and patronage, ensuring their dominance over local and state governments. At the same time, robber barons used their immense fortunes to exert influence over lawmakers. They lobbied for legislation that protected their interests, secured monopolies, and suppressed labor movements. This unchecked alliance between business and politics allowed the wealthy elite to consolidate power, often at the expense of workers' rights and democratic principles. The Gilded Age ended as more and more of Americans became frustrated with the social inequalities, corruption, and poor working conditions that defined the era. These problems led to the rise of the progressive movement in the early 1900s. The movement sought to curb the power of monopolies, improve workers' rights, and address urban living conditions, while pushing for political reforms to reduce corruption. In the end, the Gilded Age was a paradoxical era, and though it laid the foundation for the modern United States, it also reminds us of the importance of finding the proper balance between progress and fairness.
Back over to you.
Yeah, I was going to say, it just caught my eye and it seemed very apropos to what we were talking about tonight, because while I was watching the video, like I said, I could just turn on any program right now and you can hear about the political corruption, the billionaires, the oligarchies, people that are impoverished, can't seem to get ahead. Jeff Bezos, specifically with Amazon, he keeps on fighting. his workers are trying to unionize, and he won't allow them to unionize. Walmart, people that work at Walmart have the highest percentage of being on food aid and housing aid, while the CEOs are raking in billions. So this is why he's always referring to the golden age, the gilded age, and that's what he wants to go back to, because he feels like he's in that top, 1 or 2% of people that could live high on the hog during that time.
Absolutely. Ladies, any comments on it?
The Gilded Age is kind of where we're at today. We're at another Gilded Age. We're at another precipice of booming. Our economy is changing. The bringing in of AI to control more things, and the separation of and the continuing chasm of wealth and inequality between the haves and the have-nots. And the haves, boy, they sure are a small group. A little too small for my taste.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Andrea, anything from you?
Well, you see how much better their fruits and vegetables look than the ones today. It
Hmm.
tastes better then too. We have all these
Pesticides.
pesticides. So now they're
Yeah.
killing us with pesticides. They still are eating good. Some of the fruits and vegetables I've seen a strawberry as big as my hand.
Now that's a strawberry. Shit.
Mhm.
Wow. That's a
That's that
big strawberry.
newfangled fertilizer.
Well, we're going to continue. And Anitra, we're going to start off with you because you have the segment of the have nots. And I really want us to do a deep dive and show what it means when you say have not. Why don't you go ahead and set it up? Because we have a worker here that indicates he will work for food.
Work for food. We got money for wars, but can't feed the poor.
Mm-mm.
Tupac said it in 96, I believe it was. Everybody been saying that, and it's the same thing. And I got something to tell you. Everybody in America that's listening, anybody that hears me, or all over the world, do you know that slavery is not outlawed in America totally? We talk about the Congo. We talk about all these far off places where these people are being um, made to slave for nothing. But guess what? Some of our workers are in a slave type situation, and many of our inmates, our prisoners, are being exploited for little pay, little to no pay, with a clause that says that you can enslave people in all 50 states except for those that are, I mean, with the exception of those who are incarcerated. There's open, they could be slaves, they could be exploited in any kind of way. um One of the places I worked at actually had a kill floor. Right before I started there, they closed it, but they had products going out. There was some controversy, and many of them were coming to the stores and schools. And I remember there'd been a big uproar about inmates making food and products back then. But my issue was not that. My issue was who's benefiting from this and where's the money going if it's not going to them or us or the community. I do want to say as a caveat before we see this video, this next one's on Boeing, and it's talking about the inequality there. But Alabama, Colorado, Nebraska, Rhode Island, Utah, Tennessee, Vermont, Oregon, and Nevada all have taken the clause out to say that slavery is okay, even in the penal system. With those exceptions, everybody else is down. So let's watch this, and I'll talk to you on the other side.
What is it that you get paid currently?
Senator, that's well disclosed in our proxy documents in each of the years that I've been employed.
Yeah, but what is it?
That's a big number, sir.
Well, let me help you out. It's 32.8 million this year. Does that sound right?
Yes, it does.
That's a 45% increase over last year. Does that sound right?
Yes, it does.
You've got 32,000 machinists. These are American workers who work for you. These are Boeing employees in the Pacific Northwest. Well, they got 1% wage increases over 8 years. 1% over 8 years. You got a 45% increase just last year. And you're making $33 million. Do you think maybe these folks deserve a raise?
Oh, they will definitely get a raise.
Good. Good. I hope it's a substantial one. And I hope that maybe this will be an opportunity for Boeing under new leadership to reverse course and actually start making things again start making things in this country again, and start paying its people well. I've listened to your testimony, and it seems like the gist of it seems to be that if you could just get your employees to comply, follow the rules, follow your management techniques, etc., things would be better. I don't think the problem's with the employees.
Oh, it's
Actually,
not. It is
yeah,
not.
I think the problem's with you. It's the C-suite. It's the management. It's what you've done to this company. That's where the problem is. The problem's at the top. Your engineers, they're probably the best in the world. Your machinists, they're outstanding. You're the problem. And I just hope to God that you don't destroy this company before it can be saved. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What is it that the
1% over 8 years, and he got a 45% raise in 1 year, but his machinists and his engineers didn't get that. And that's at the top end of the halves. They're considered to be the halves when you come out here in regular society, but even their money is not being increased, and so they're starting to be the have-nots because they can't maintain their current way of living, which may not sound like it's a traumatizing thing, but if you've lived through it, it is, because you haven't changed anything. You're not doing anything excessively, but you still can't afford the things that you normally could, and send your kids off and have decent meals and not worry about some kind of insecurity, because 6 figures is not going where it used to be, and most people aren't making that. Now you get into the situation back with the prisons. Everybody's getting rich except for the people doing the work. So let's watch this, and I'll talk to you
Well,
about
I
it.
want to
There's be a lot to
comment
talk
real
about.
quickly. Jazzy, I'm with you. 1% over 8 years, and you're an
This
engineer,
cowboy dude
and
has really
he's
got it going
making
on.
33, 33 million,
I don't know
and
how that
everyone
happens,
else.
Jazzy. 1% over 8 years.
A lot of people think black people commit more crimes, but the truth is black people are convicted of more crimes. You want to know one reason why? Because once you're locked up, you can legally be turned into cheap labor. You don't think America would pass up an opportunity to continue our tradition of slavery and involuntary servitude, did you? I was taught in school that the 13th Amendment abolished slavery, but right after it says that, it also says, except for punishment for a crime. And that's the loophole they're still exploiting today. About 2/3 of the prison population, approximately 800,000 people, work while incarcerated. And while much of it is routine work, like cooking, cleaning, and laundry, there's a subset of that labor, especially in private prisons and programs linked to corporations, that is exploitative, low wage, and it resembles modern day slavery. Now, this has roots in something called the convict lease program, which targeted black Americans after slavery ended. And today it continues to disproportionately affect them, since they are 37% of the prison population, but only 12% of the American population. So who benefits from this cheap labor? Thousands of American companies profit from this system. States can even use prison labor to save millions on services like firefighting and road work. And the more people locked up, the more money flows, both to corporations and to the states running the prisons, who get funding based on the number of prisoners. And let's not forget the private prison companies like CoreCivic and GEO Group, and how they lobby legislators, fund campaigns, and sign contracts guaranteeing high prison occupancy, which puts pressure on judges and prosecutors to lock people up, even if it means getting locked up for minor offenses. So these companies keep getting paid. This is the pipeline that feeds the slave labor. So you have prisoners working for pennies an hour legally, which benefits thousands of American corporations, private prisons making money on contracts with the states, and the states save big. Now, the system may be broken by design, but we still hold the power if we stand together. And one way to do that is to boycott the companies who use prison labor. I recently launched a Discord server where I've included a massive database of many of these companies, including helpful links to current events, history, declassified FBI and CIA documents, campaign finance disclosures, and more. You can find the invite link in my bio.
Guy has a lot of nice information. So we're back at the Gilded Age again. People are lobbying to get what they want. They're lobbying here to get what they want. Back to Jeff Bezos and Walmart and all these places. And I'm not saying that they would be wrong if they were paying the decent wages, but they're paying some of these people 27 cents an hour. I worked in a prison where people made that or less. 27 cents was a pretty good job. And I understand they are being punished, but the punishment is supposed to be the prison sentence. That's one thing they always told us. The prison sentence is the punishment. They're away from society. So to punish them while they're in prison, unless they've done some egregious act, is kind of like, kicking you while you're down. And some of these people aren't staying forever. So you got them out here working on the slave labor program, but the money is not for us. It's not for the communities that have been decimated because there's no fathers. It's not for the after school programs to keep people from coming in, because you're getting it on both ends. You're getting it when you put the people in the prison, and then you're getting the labor off the people in the prison. And so where's the money? Let's see who's benefiting from that.
Not many of us think very often about where the food we eat really comes from, but the results of a new investigation are highlighting how a large variety of some of our favorite treats can be linked back to prisoners. Jackie Ibanez takes a closer look.
While you probably know which stores your groceries come from, you may be unaware that some of those items could be linked back to prison labor.
I feel like I had became a slave.
That's according to the results of a 2-year investigation by the Associated Press, which traced hundreds of millions of dollars worth of various crops and meats back to the hands of incarcerated Americans. Across the country, prisoners are working in fields, cattle farms, and more. They're harvesting materials and raising cows that the AP report found were later used to make things like Frosted Flakes, ballpark hot dogs, gold medal flour, Coca-Cola, and hamburgers, just to name a few. The AP says many of these products are sold at the likes of Target, Walmart, Kroger, Whole Foods, McDonald's, and more. Most prisoners are paid pennies, if given anything, and it's all legal.
The 13th Amendment prohibits slavery and involuntary servitude, except that there is a provision that allows for incarcerated people to be forced to work.
Some supporters say prison labor saves taxpayers money while giving inmates a chance to improve their lives behind bars. The AP says many companies listed in the report did not respond to questions. Whole Foods Market says it does not allow the use of prison labor in products sold at its stores. McDonald's said it would.
So here we are. Here we are back at, and they're getting the money from the labor, but it's not going back into their families, into their communities. Where is it going? People just getting off and getting away with it, and it's not even, and they can't give a decent wage or have a decent meal price and all this different stuff. And you got people out here eating at soup kitchens and lining up. I know so many people right now that are using what you call them, food banks. I've never known this many people. I didn't even know what a food bank was when I was little, for the most part. But now I know where they're at, and I know where to go get things if I need them. And I know where people get them. And so, and they're suffering as well, because the people who used to give don't have. The haves, the somewhat haves, don't even have anymore, because the corporations are taking it all. And we see it seems powerless, but we have to vote, and we have to get the legislation changed, and we have to have our own lobbyists in there. And thank you.
No, great job. Great job. I want to go back to Connie and also to Jazzy. Connie indicated my son told me about this long time ago. Slave labor and the prison system. Prisoners, prisons are um, now privatized, if not all, some. You got a good point there, Connie. Absolutely. That is definitely the truth on it. Jazzy, someone else want to take Jazzy's?
She said, food makes me paranoid. I know that sounds weird, but I'm always questioning what exactly is in my food and how it's being processed in my body. Our bodies are already polluted with microplastics.
And then you have, and then they try
Absolutely.
to give it, the problem when they were having trouble with the slave labor. They were finding out that they were packaging milk pouches for schools, and a lot of the parents were like, "Oh no, not the inmates and all that." And it's not necessarily, they're being told and getting a job for doing what the prison is offering for a job. So it's not them, and I don't think they have any less practices. But if they're already exploiting people, how good are their practices going to be? Because everybody's getting greased on the back. Penn Products is making a lot of money off
Let's
clothes, and they round the money, and they make the food, and they take care of it all internally. So where's the money going is the question.
I just want to take a minute before we go to Lizzie's comment because I want to highlight that. While we're getting that up there, If you haven't done so, could you please make sure you're liking and subscribe? Please. I know Miss Lizzie subscribe. I know Jazzy Renee subscribe. Guys, we can't stay viable without you. And we truly, truly need you. Thank you for joining us every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday sip. This Saturday, we're in the backyard. So come check it out with s'mores and a whole lot of stuff. But let's transition right quickly and someone takes Lizzie's statement.
I sure will. We have a backpack program in the southern tier of New York. We discreetly give bags of non perishables to students in their backpacks at the end of the school week to feed them for the weekend.
Now
I
that's
think that is
powerful.
awesome and honorable. Do you know right now there's a story out where a lady has been doing that, giving food to food insecure kids over the weekend, and she just got fired. So we want to look out for her too. Check it out, Google it, um, go to YouTube, find out how to probably help that lady because she's taking care of those that aren't being taken care of. And I hate that. They should have a program for that, and that's excellent.
Lizzie, we are definitely cheering you on. Thank you, Lizzie, for letting us know about that. And Lizzie, if you need funding for that, if you know where people can give, let us know and we'll
Mhm.
definitely put it on our crawler as you like and subscribe. Thank you, Lizzie, so much for that information. Anyone else have information like that? Bring it to the channel because we're here to help. This is how we solve and survive through this economy. All right, we're going to transition because now we talk about the haves, not, but let's talk about the haves. And you know who's bringing you the heat with the haves. Miss Andrea, set this up.
Well, while I'm watching this and thinking about the people that could share some of their wealth, and one being Don Jr. And the Donald Trump trying to take all the money he can from us. Let's go ahead and watch so that we see what he's doing.
For Donald Trump, corruption, grift, they're really kind of a family business these days, one that his eldest son is now cashing in on. The New York Times is looking at Donald Trump Jr., who, prior to his father's presidency, didn't exactly show signs of being a financial genius. In fact, his resume prior to his dad becoming president was mostly being employed by his dad at his dad's company and being a boardroom judge on his dad's reality show. But look at the New York Times headline now. Donald Trump Jr.'s investment firm posts staggering returns of 200%. The fledgling firm, run by the president's oldest son and his partner, Omid Malik, has made investments in AI.
Let me pause it real quick. How, Sway? How? How are you making 200% more profit? How, Sway? That doesn't run a red flag for you guys?
And defense technology that have tripled in value in just months. The Times notes nothing in their report was blatantly illegal, but describes how one of these staggering investments worked in the case of Polymarket. The government had banned it from taking monetary wagers from U.S. residents, but last year, a federal regulator in Dad's administration granted it an operating license in the United States, worth $300 million when 1789 Don Jr.'s company invested. The platform is now valued at $15 billion. So that's just one example, but there's kind of a theme here. The Times reports that what sets apart the latest moves by Donald Trump Jr. is how he and his partner, Mr. Malik, through 1789 Capital, are cashing in on the policies of the current administration openly and without apology. Many of the companies that 1789 has invested in have large government contracts, while others, like Polymarket, have benefited directly from new Trump policies or rollbacks of existing laws. Here now to tell us more is the reporter on that same story, New York Times finance reporter Maureen Farrell. She covers private equity firms, hedge funds, and billionaires and their influence on the investing world and society at large. So, Maureen, 1789 Capital was founded in 2022. In 2024, Trump's son joins, Dad wins the presidency, and now there are 200% returns. You cover Wall Street. How typical is a return like that?
Very atypical. You
Okay.
rarely see anything like that. And just to put it in comparison, the average fund, and it's been a good run for these funds, is up about 20% by comparison. So 200% is jaw-dropping by any imaginable measure.
What's his secret?
They've been winning kind of across the board in so many of their investments, whether it's SpaceX, defense contractors, other AI companies. They're really posting wins after wins after wins.
For Donald Trump, corruption, grift, they're really kind of a family business these days, one that his eldest son is now cashing in on. The New York Times.
Well, back over to you, Andrea.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, they can get rid of the Supreme Court because for them to sit back and watch all of this corruption and say absolutely nothing, and then to watch Congress not say anything and the Senate, and what they're doing is taking all these government contracts and becoming richer and richer. And Donald Trump himself is telling them which companies to invest in. They're traveling the world. They're traveling the world and saying, if you invest this much money in the United States into us, I'll make sure when you come over here, we compensate you. We're going to be compensated and you're going to be compensated. And we don't care who doesn't eat. It actually, just watching it and this subject just makes me angry.
It should make everyone angry, Andrea, because you can go from 20% to 200%. How? How is that even possible? And you got people out here can't even make their daily meal or pay their bills. I'm sending out much love, and this has to stop. And I can't wait for this
They must be
corruption.
washing their money. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well,
Well,
Andrea,
I
it's
just,
not only Junior.
it is Junior, it's Senior, it's Eric, it's his son-in-law that's already 2 billion already. Well, I won't go into that one yet, but they're all making money while everyone else is not eating, especially black and brown people. They want to make sure they use them all again for slave labor, and then they can't even eat the food that they are making or working the fields they're working in. They can't have, how much it costs to go buy a cotton shirt,
Yes,
100%
Jazzy.
cotton shirt. It's like $100 for a cotton shirt, but
Yes,
if you get
Jazzy.
a
They're
micro
manipulating the
$20.
market. Well, let's play this video and we can finish it on the other side. How about that?
Okay. Yeah. No sound.
It's coming up.
Unbelievable, beautiful 1,400 hectare private island in the middle of the Mediterranean. We were on a friend's boat and we stopped for a swim. Effectively, that's how we found it. We went on a hike barefoot all the way and we were just captivated.
This is the island of Sazan off the coast of Albania. President Trump's daughter, Ivanka, and her husband, Jared Kushner, are trying to build a luxury resort here and on a nearby peninsula in a protected nature area. The project, with Albania's government and other investors, is worth an estimated $4 billion. But the island and peninsula aren't private. They were public nature reserves, and the plan has helped spark this: huge protests in Albania, some of the biggest since the fall of communism here.
If you could speak to Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner, what would you say?
Hands off! Albania is not for sale.
The protesters have dubbed it the Flamingo Revolution, after the flamingos living in the protected area where the resort will be built. But it's become about far more.
This protest began because of anger over this resort linked to Jared Kushner.
I'm sorry, guys. That video just will not
That
play.
video don't want to play because
No.
it shouldn't play because it shouldn't be happening. We're like in Gaza, where they have, killed so many Palestinians. They're doing the same thing over there and want to make that another Riviera. And no, see, what Trump is trying to do is buy up the planet. He want to buy the planet. He just don't want to buy the United States. He want the planet, and he just want his family and the Musk and the Morgans and everybody else you name that still has money from the Gilded Age. Them people still got money. All these banks are owned by them, and then they can keep this pedophile ring going on.
Please,
Yeah, they're
please,
trying to have their own
please.
sanctuary, like our audience is saying, and the people out there, Jazzy and everybody. They're trying to build their own little Gaza strips and their own little enclaves for the on and popping the Tate brother type people, and it's not gonna work because we're not playing that stuff, and people aren't being colonized anymore. They're sick of it. And how dare she think she could just go buy an island like that? I mean, just go. I want this.
Out of
But
Good
it
for
was
stolen
you.
money. I
protected.
mean,
It was a protected island. Let's
mhm.
make sure that we put that out there. The island is protected. And because you want to buy it, you're going to just deem it unprotectable? Like, who
It's
are
like the
you?
Galapagos Islands. I'm gonna buy it because I'm a billionaire.
But
No.
they're
Exactly.
buying it with grifted money.
Lizzie must be saying something because everybody is saying, yes, Lizzie, they're evil. I hear you, Jazzy. That's just plain evil.
How do
But
you propose
nevertheless,
building uh, anything luxurious on land that has had kids, and you took it away? I can't see it anymore.
but while she brings that up, please make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe. We need to stay viable. I can't say that enough. Go ahead with Lizzie.
Oh, I would feel bad, with the kids murdered on it. They're sick. They are sick. All of them are sick, and they getting their just reward right now. I want you to hear me. This is all you getting.
And Lizzie also said it pisses her off about Trump and Gaza, and it makes me mad too because those people have that's their lives. We just destroyed
We
so much
did,
over
not
there,
we. I
and
wouldn't
then we're
say
not going to go up
they.
and do
I'm not
anything.
gonna say we. I'm gonna say they.
The United
Well,
States.
one thing we do know, and I'm going to jump in here, the next president that comes in, whether Trump stays in the bunker or not, they have to rebuild back Gaza. Gaza must be rebuilt, okay? They have to put some money in. Momo, I
They need
haven't
to.
heard from
They need
you.
to give
Talk
the.
back to me, Momo.
Yeah, I was gonna say just recently Gwyneth Paltrow did a commercial for luxury real estate over in the West Bank of Israel, as if Israel's not committing a whole genocide. Like they haven't completely annihilated Gaza, but we're supposed to just, oh yeah, let's invest in real estate in Israel right now. So it's just evil, inhumane.
Tone deaf.
Hmm.
That's it. Totally
And we
tone
can build
deaf.
it, but we got to make sure that Israel's not going to come in and Bibi Netanyahu is not going to come in and tear it back up because they don't listen to us.
Well,
And what I wanted to say was, and they fired all of these black people, men and women, and now grifting all of their money. I mean, all of these people that work for government jobs, these people too, they have white people working these government jobs too.
well,
And
Andrea,
I love Two Chain and Robin Leach, even though they're part of the haves.
well, let's go ahead and play it for you.
Expensive is Viva Las Vegas. We're talking about different types of caviar. Obviously, that's what us rich people talk about. Trappy, this is my dog. He's expensive.
I brought you some more caviar to enjoy.
Oh, now we're talking. What kind of caviar is that right there?
It's a Saruga. So our caviar could go anywhere from $170 to $500 per ounce.
That's Robin Leach right there. How long did you do the show?
15 years.
Back that time, you was probably popping like the most. You know how many characters came off of you? the most interesting man in the world, you still living the life.
I
man.
wake up to caviar in the morning.
Man, you're blessed.
And I go to bed with a bottle of champagne.
That's your
Not
life.
physically.
It's okay to hug champagne if you want to. If that's
Yeah. One of my favorite moments was finding a house that was so large that they had chauffeur-driven Rolls Royces take you from the bedroom on a road inside the house down to the dining room.
You ought to be
The
in
house
there.
with the 365 rooms is one for every day of the year. The Gold House in Hong Kong. They built this out of gold bricks. The house.
So how are you, Mr. Leach?
No, 77.
You're good. How
Not
you
bad.
feel?
Good. Still doing it.
Still able to have sex and everything?
Yeah, absolutely.
No brothels, okay?
Not necessary. Even
Got
at my
that
age.
I like you, man. You just really just talking up on it, huh? Like a real player.
I'm a baller.
You the baller. So eat you some more. I see you dying to eat that stuff. Get you some.
Yeah,
Why do you
there's-
keep putting
there's-
one on your plate? But one,
One at a time is elegant.
okay, well, you
Two
teaching
at
me
a time
stuff.
is greedy.
Oh. Well, you eating the shit out of. Do that again. I'm drinking my champagne wrong. I saw you go kind of wide with the elbow.
It'll come.
What's your favorite champagne? Boom.
Well,
That's
my
a good question.
favorite champagne is Cristal. That's the gold one wrapped in the gold.
And the croissant French toast that we have here.
You like stuff like that?
No. I bet if you went to France and you asked for French toast, they'd look at you as if you were nuts.
What about French fries?
It's like, no, French fries come from Belgium. And English muffin, we don't have them in England.
You don't even have them?
No. It's an American myth, English muffin.
Let me get this straight.
Go ahead.
People in England don't eat English muffins?
We don't have English muffins.
I can tell that pisses you off too.
Yes, it does. I'm going to have another caviar.
More Bellini.
Thank you.
We will get you more
Get
balloons.
it right.
Excuse me, do you have butter and syrup, please?
You cannot mix caviar with syrup.
Brought you some syrup.
Let me show this man how to do these. You got to try one like I'm eating it one time. I ate your way.
Ladies and gentlemen, another first.
It will.
This is a Bellini.
You didn't cut back on the syrup at all.
In one bite?
One bite. That's how you told me to eat it. Be honest. You got to be honest, man. Be honest for me.
It's not caviar,
But is it bad?
but it's bad good.
See what I'm saying? A little college park, a little boy like myself, grow up, get a sack, sit down with the lifestyle, man. Turn them on to pancakes and grits. Yeah. And you talking about all this Bellinis and Bellinis and bikinis. We doing it the South Side way, the Waffle House way, with butter and syrup. You know, I've been putting butter and syrup on every piece of bread in my house since I was a little kid. It make everything better.
I have no idea what he just said, but my translation is champagne wishes, caviar dreams.
And I think he died of a heart attack.
Robin Leach is on it.
Okay.
I'm
he's
Robin
on
Leach. I'm
it.
coming to the lifestyles of 2 Chainz, one interview.
Yeah, that's
So
when
let's
you
go out to our
pass the
supporters.
torch over, huh?
So let's go out to our supporters and see what they're saying.
That is
This is
gross.
gross. I hear
Mhm.
Angry Army Vet. I hear you.
That's the half. This is what the halves do.
Yeah, I can't do
Yes.
caviar.
I've only had caviar once. I didn't like it.
And 2 Chainz doing okay, but I don't know if he's going to be beaten with Robin Leach. I'm just going to keep that to myself.
Well, like I said, Robin Leach is gone now. Then that's what I'm saying, Katie. Meanwhile, people are starving and dying from lack of food and proper health care, and war screw people like this. But that's your half. You know, they have it and then they die of a stroke and a heart attack because they ate too much. And
The CEO of Goodwill is getting back. You know what I'm saying? Red Cross is getting back. we need to start asking questions about these things. I understand people.
He doesn't even respect Two Chains and looks down on him as ignorant and beneath him. The raccoon can't even see that Leach is making fun of him. And it's pitiful.
Come on, girl. Nothing but the truth out
Again,
there.
this is gross and demeaning, and it is demeaning, and they don't care. And you see how Trump looks, and he smelled like shit.
That's what they say.
If I was a half, I'd help others, and I hope to God, if my prayer has always been that I never had so much where I forget God. Because there are other people that need food, they need shelter, and here, I get that was Jazzy that says, what would you do with a house with 35 bedrooms? And I'd say
Mhm.
I'd put the homeless in them. I'd put the homeless in that house. I couldn't stand there by
Gold
myself.
bricks.
What I need with a house with gold bricks.
Exactly. I'll be picking that house apart and selling it, selling the
Okay, being
bricks.
there.
Mhm.
Or I'll be giving bricks away. Hey, go cash this in.
Well,
See what you could get.
they didn't grifted so much money. They don't even need to sell it. They don't know what to do with all this money.
Let's see what Connie's saying out here. This is ridiculous. Oh, what did Connie say?
It keeps going. How can they really enjoy what they have when so many people are hungry and homeless in America? I know they don't care, and they don't.
They're not happy, Connie. They are not happy.
I
Why do
went
you
out
think
with.
most of them commit suicide? Why do you think
Hmm.
most of them are on drugs? Because they don't want to see reality. They don't want to feel reality. They don't really want to even be a part of it.
They don't.
And they're not. They have enough money. Many of them where they don't have to live in our reality. It's just like Donald Trump talking about a thing called groceries. He don't know what these things mean. He talks about them as somebody who's never used them and purchased them, and that's because he hasn't.
Well, that's just like you said earlier, if you buy a loaf of bread, some milk, and some eggs, already you spent at least, this is at the least, is $15.
Ye-
I
Well,
said the
here in New York, that's almost $18.
see, so that's what I'm saying there because bread has went up, and while we're talking about it, they said that eggs got some Ebola or whatever right now. What did it say?
Salmonella.
Salmonella, not Ebola. I'm sorry.
But I want to, before I play this video, I hope you guys already liked and subscribed. If you haven't done so, please, we're doing a campaign and we have something for you by the end of this show. So let me go ahead and play this video. If you think the other one was, wait
Well,
till you
can I
see
say
this
what
video.
Jazzy said first?
Sure.
Uh, Jazzy said a lot of them commit suicide because they realize money doesn't buy happiness. Okay, that was it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You think?
Mhm.
Thanks, Jazzy. We're right on point. You're right on point. All right. Check out this video. Hang on. Let's make sure we have some. Okay.
I'm here, sweetie. I can't find my face cream.
That's the girl where it is.
Marta, where's my face cream?
Didn't you have it before bed?
I hate saying this, but I've been noticing some things have been missing.
You think Marta took your face cream?
I don't think she did. I'm not saying.
No, I think she might have because she did have. I specifically said you have a nice glow about you today, Marta.
She looks like she's glowing.
She looked like you.
She did look like me, and that's when I thought maybe she stole my face cream. And I hate saying that.
Yeah, and it's not that she stole it, but if she's taken it and she's used it, it's kind of like she stole it.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, Marta,
Mhm.
I noticed my face cream is missing.
Mhm.
If it's where it's supposed to be within the next 30 minutes, we don't have a problem.
And I think I'll say the same thing to her about my Birkin.
Right, because you're missing a Birkin.
I might have just gotten rid of that Birkin though, so maybe I shouldn't say it.
But I'm pretty certain that Marta stole my face cream. She stole your face cream. And again, I hate saying that?
I should check and see if I have my face cream. I don't have my face cream.
It's missing.
Wait, darling. I think it's all in the Santa Barbara house.
Oh.
We remember we made Marta move everything to the Santa Barbara house. And then she said, should I get you another one?
Right.
And we said, what a dumb idea, Marta.
And now I feel bad for assuming.
Don't feel bad. It was silly of her. She should have just done it. Even though we said no, she should have just done it. No matter what we say, she should always buy more of what we need.
She should know what we need.
She should go talk to her about buying more of what we need, because she should know what we need before we know we need it.
Isn't that crazy?
It's heart wrenching. Oh, she stole it. We always stealing from them. They stealing from us, but we stealing from them. Your little $10 bottle of cream.
I'm gonna steal something. I'm going straight for the silver.
So
I know it's hard to watch, guys, but we're trying to show you what the hell is really going on. And if you don't see it up close and personal, you can't even fathom this because you're not of that nature. You're a caring and giving person. This type of BS don't even come across your desk. It doesn't even come into your household. You're out there trying to make sure your neighbors can eat. You're trying to make sure the old lady
Right.
down the block has a loaf of bread and milk for her tea, or you're trying to make sure she can get to her appointments. This type of behavior doesn't come across your desk. And what we're trying to show you that the haves and the have nots is real, and it's getting even deeper.
and see, and that's what they happened, Kate, is they took away from the middle class. That they're trying to get rid. Either you have it or you don't. And if we don't watch out, if we don't stop this now, if you don't vote your own interest instead of thinking somebody gonna give you a $2 a stimulus check, and he didn't give not one person a stimulus check, but he enriched every person in his family. His wife is so content with all the money she has. She said, I don't even care anymore. I don't care what y'all got. I don't care if you got a coat. I watched the show last night. They didn't even have, they had to sleep in the car, and then the car stopped working. They couldn't even turn the heat on, and it was cold. I'm not talking
I've
about
been
this stuff.
homeless before. I've been
See,
homeless sleeping in my car within the last in 2012. That's how recent it is. Um, I remember at one point I had a half a thing of Mountain Dew and some pretzels.
mhm.
I still had a job, and it's complicated. What happened? My identity got stolen. It's the whole thing. But in that lesson, I lost a whole lot, but I gained a lot more, and I had to start over on some things. But I realized there's such a chasm, and now I'm back where I'm supposed to be, where I wanted to be. I'm exactly there, and it's not enough because the haves keep taking from us, and it's not going back into our economy and our infrastructure. And so it just costs families more to live and more and more. And I'm just one person. So I can't imagine. And it's getting worse and worse. And the chasm is getting bigger. It's a crevasse, as they say.
You get 20
Huge.
million people without health care. He said he didn't want Obamacare. You got 20 million people that don't have no health care.
You have 12% of the population that is 30%, 37% of incarcerated people. 12%, 37%.
And that's the
It's
other
not
way.
that we're doing things wrong, it's that people are holding us, coming after us more.
Exactly, exactly. And Anitra, thank you for sharing. We truly appreciate that. And our hearts do go out to you so you can absolutely relate. Like Connie said about her son, told her this some time ago that there is no longer a middle class. Well, the middle class has collapsed. However,
Mhm.
it's still out there. And if we don't get rid of this president, then it'll be a two-tier system. It will be only those that have and those that have not. And that's why we're bringing it. Thank you, Connie, for
And
also sharing.
that's why they had a constitution. That's why so that they would abide by the constitution. He wouldn't even put his hand on the Bible to even say his oath of office. So if that's what you want, he needed to be impeached a long time ago. I don't understand how a felon with 34 felony counts even could run for president, but a person coming out of the prison system can't vote at all until his restitution is paid. And in some states, they can never vote again.
Because they're trying to keep us down. Is between that anywhere local gerrymandering, all that stuff is to peck away with somebody they think is going to vote a different way.
Now, this one really cracked me up. It's Republicans will claim that dead people are voting, but are okay with a dead man holding a Senate seat, Mitch McConnell. They can do
We
it
can
too.
add Mitches.
Broke people can't be dead voting, but rich people can and hold an elected seat. That's an elected seat.
And won't give us proof of life.
Well, as soon as that deadline passes for that special election, they'll announce his death.
And
the thing is, we know that, but yet nobody's going to be held accountable for it, and that's what makes sticks in my craw, and that's why I'm out here.
Me too. Then that he's trying to pass that SAVE Act. That SAVE Act, like they say, is in his craw. He got to get it passed, but that is so unfair to married women that can't prove their identity, before they got married.
Well, we have one more video before we go. Please stick around. I hope you like and you subscribe because we do have a treat for you today. So I just want to play this video and then we'll give you more information on the contest that we have.
Sure did happen today. And MAGA and Republicans, if you're watching this from Earth, you were left behind. You would absolutely hate it here. Lunch is free. So every child gets to eat here, which is like, a wild concept for you. Actually,
these videos are not playing today.
Every meal is free for everyone. There's no homeless people here, but that's only because God.
I'm gonna stop it. We'll bring you back this one on Thursday. We will definitely bring this back on Thursday. But what we want to know, if you're looking at the screen, we do have a call. We have a contest that's going on. The first person that can give us 20 subscribers by Saturday SIP will win a prize. Yes, the prize is monetary, and we do not mind. We're trying to get it out there. So if you read the board says the first person to give us 20 subscribers. Come on, that means dig deep. Look for your friends and family, co-workers, anybody you know, and I'll do a roll call because I can see how many subscribers and who subscribed. You will definitely win a prize. We will announce that prize on Saturday, 8/1, when you come to our Saturday backyard sip. So please, even if you don't show up Saturday, we're still going to call the person's name and let them know they won. So with that
and to keep track of who you send to us.
Exactly. Make sure you write down each person's name because I'm going to do a roll call and we're just going to ask you to let us know your. And if you don't get to 20, just try because whoever has the most amount of people will definitely be the winner. So how about that? Just do your best. And before we go, we definitely always have to give you a word of wisdom. There is a ruby in this. You're not walking alone. God is with you every step of the way. Hope you believe that. And if you don't believe in God, we're with you. We're walking with you every step of the way. But He is the master and He has the plan. So we hope that you guys really enjoy tuning in today. We do our round table at this time. I'm going to start with Miss Andrea.
Well, if you can see my shirt, it says, "It's never luck, it's always God."
Ooh, I feel you on that. Miss Anitra.
We're getting ready to come up on some darker days because we're coming closer to the midterm election, and this is going to be the beginning of the worst of it. Remember, murder is the motive, and people who don't speak up will be left behind. So use your voice. Come here to our voice, with your voice, making a choice to get the word out. and send people
Jazzy,
to us. Thank you.
no problem. Jazzy, we love that heart. And Momo.
Yeah, just look out for your neighbors, look out for your family, your friends. Look out for the person that always seems like they're okay, because usually they're the person that's not. So we have to be in this together. Just like Anitra said, dark times are coming, but there is light at the end of the tunnel.
I would say thank you for showing up. You guys are always so good to us. Please make sure you're liking, and we have that subscribe campaign going on. Please remember, love is the key. And if you don't unlock that door to someone else, it will shut behind you. So open up, be accountable, and stay positive. Goodbye and good night, everyone. From the Triple A's plus M.
Invisible hands.